We're back. We're giving you the best. It's Showback Tuesday. It's my favorite day of the week. We've got digital transformation inside. Good morning. Come to the mic. Come to the mic. Go to the mic. Sorry. Yeah, good morning to you. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning.
Hold on. Shady way. Oh, Lord. You see what it's got to do with? He doesn't do anything with that. What's that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Check the microphone and give me.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. Digital transformation. What's your name?
My name is Winston George. I'm the project coordinator of the Digital Transformation Project.
Okay. Tell us what exactly is that? This is the first time I'm thinking maybe about this. Or is it? I think I remember. What is it? What exactly is this about?
Okay, the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project is a World Bank funded project. It's being implemented across the 4 Windward Islands, so Dominica, St. Lucia, Grenadines, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. The project is the total cost is about $90 million.
Wow.
In the case of St. Vincent and the Grenadines,
How much of that we getting?
$30 million US.
Okay.
And the aim of the project is to provide digital public services to citizens and to businesses.
Okay.
Right?
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Really?
Essentially, it is using information, communication, or digital technologies to modernize and deliver public services to the citizens and businesses in the participating countries in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So now you manually go to places, you stand in line and so on. But the project is aimed at delivering a lot of these public services at your convenience.
Okay, so give me an example. Like if I go to pay my license or something like that.
Right. So there's several components of the project that I want to speak to, or several different activities. The first one has to do with the upgrading of the civil registry system. That is where you register your births and your
birth
deaths,
certificate and death
yes,
certificate.
and so on.
Okay.
So what we're aiming to do is to allow citizens the opportunity to register your births and your deaths online, and also that will be integrated with a unique identifier database to allow for vetting and verification for public services.
Well, I was going to ask you about the security of this, because I could go online and say Shady is dead. How do you verify that?
So
Shady put him up there. Yeah.
Part of the implementation of the project has to do with the establishment of what you call a national CSIRT, which is a computer security incident response team. So that in itself will be established. Also, we will establish a data center with all the necessary security in place. Part of going online also, you have to address the matter of disaster recovery and business continuity. So you have to have your systems backed up and so on. So we are taking security very seriously in the whole matter of the project. Part of going online, you have to also authenticate that you are you, right?
Okay.
So that is part of the unique identifier database to allow for citizen authentication.
Okay.
So once you go in there, you are you and you are accessing.
How do I identify that I am me?
Well, so you right now we go to various places for services and we use our ID card, we use our driver's license, we use our passport. The reference for all these things, the source for all these identity documents is your birth certificate. If you don't have a passport and you want to get a passport, you have to go and get your birth certificate. So the civil registry is the source of the birth certificate. So we have to ensure that at that database that the information there is correct, right?
Okay.
And also in the implementation of the project, we are looking at establishing a web portal as well as a mobile portal, so you could also access those services
on your phone
and so on.
Okay. All right.
There are a number of things that we are doing. We are looking at a new tax information management system.
What's that?
That allows for the filing of your taxes, your also electronic payment.
Like your personal income tax
your VAT payments,
okay.
whatever.
Okay. On this very system.
Yes. Also payment of driver's licenses and so forth.
Oh, Jesus Lord.
Yeah. So
don't we need that?
Yeah. And even at the moment, with the current system, before we go to the new system, because the new system might take about 2 years to implement, we are in the process of procuring that system for implementation. We expect by the 20th of November we will have several bids for that new system. But the old system, we are working with it right now.
Hold on, let me just get again to you, because he's got some questions right now. Shelly, just pull out the microphone out of the microphone. Yeah. Why can't I, and I think this is something that came up already, why can't I go and pay my license in advance for the next 5 years, for example?
Well, that has to be a function of Inland Revenue Department. I'm not.
But with this system, but with this system,
those would be protocols, I guess, that Inland Revenue Department would have to put in place. Now,
right.
If the citizens demand something like that, naturally, I don't know. They would have to make a determination if that is something that is possible.
All right. So continue.
So it's something that is practical. The other thing that we are looking at is what we call an electronic single window for trade facilitation. Simply,
listen and learn.
Simply, you have the Asecuda system for the customs right now, but you're putting on a front end. So all the licenses, permits, and other documents that you have to upload, say from several border agencies. There are about 16 border agencies. So if you want to import agricultural products and so on, you might have to get a phytosanitary certificate. So instead of walking to agriculture now to get that particular document or whatever, that could be uploaded online when you're processing your customs document for clearance. And essentially how it should work is once that is cleared and the notification comes, you make the payment online and you go and pick up your. So I speak simply, say an agricultural document, but it goes to vehicles, all other things.
Forgive me, I just came, right? I'm not 100% sure. What exactly are you referring to? What are we talking about?
The subject matter.
Because you mentioned Asecuda, and I get very excited right away.
we are talking about the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project.
Oh my God, it's going to happen?
Yes. We are actually. So I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
We have a draft negotiated contract with what we call UNCTAD to implement the electronic single window for trade facilitation.
And what's your role in this?
I'm the project coordinator.
Oh, okay, great. All right. So in the future, when this is completed, I work for a company that imports a lot into this country.
Right.
And we use the Asecuda system a lot.
Right.
And what happens is when my customs brokers, I've got 5 or 6 people working in customs brokerage, they go and put all the stuff into Asecuda, and then you know what they do after that?
What? Print the
They
paper?
print it out.
Right.
And our government stopped us using plastic bags in this country for whatever reason. But they're instead encouraging us to cut down as many trees as possible because the amount of paper Bing, you ask, tell me if this makes sense. You clear in
talk
an item
about
at
that.
customs.
Yeah,
you go
talk
into
about that.
executor.
Yeah.
Right? And you still have to print a million things. Now, of course, in addition to that, you know the only person that we still cut checks for in this country? The Accountant General.
government.
You know why? The government. You know why? Because the government, and including customs too, that's the only entity in this entire country for which you cannot do
Is he
electronic
putting you on your
funds
back foot?
transfers.
That's what he does. It's horrible. That's what he does.
No. I welcome it
knows the
because
frustration.
we have actually discussed the matter of the paper,
Yeah.
and I know internally the customs are seeking to address that aspect of it.
And what about, I had a meeting the other day with Bank of St. Vincent's, okay? And a representative from the Accountant General's office was there. So, of course, I thought I had her. I said, okay, great, I got to know, finally. Why is it we can't make electronic transfers to you? We pay
Right.
for NIS, we pay for every other company, we transfer directly to the bank. And she says, Steve, it's not my fault, you know. It's the Bank of St. Vincent's fault because their system does not allow them to provide enough information. Right? Because think of the Accountant General, they're getting thousands of checks. If not, certainly hundreds, I would imagine, every day coming into them. They need to know how to allocate these things. But the Bank of St. Vincent's system apparently does not provide the information very easily to say who's the money coming from and what is the purpose of it. So you could do all you like on your side, but if Bank of St. Vincent does not get their act together, we're still wasting time, no?
So what we have done, part of the digital transformation project is establishing an e-government payment platform.
Right.
And that payment platform will look at different channels of payment. So you have your credit and your debit card, you have that transfer of funds, you have the cash, all these different things. So we are currently in the process of reviewing the functional and technical specifications because we had a consultancy to look at the government e-payment platform. So that is part of it. Currently, what we have an interim payment system called GovPay that is piloted at SIPO, and we are hoping to extend it to different government services.
This project you're undergoing, it sounds like a huge project.
It's a huge project.
How much money is it going to cost?
In the case of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the estimated budget there is $30 million US. Because
I'm not surprised at all. I find that actually kind of on the cheap side. For what you are doing.
Systems like the tax, the single window. We are also doing a single window for land and property transactions as well. So the exchange of property and land would go through a single window.
So does that involve? Hold on one second. Let me just ask one.
And this is your field. So you go ahead. Let me let you take the lead. Right? This is your field.
If there's a piece of land next door to where I live,
right,
and I want to know who owns that piece of land, it's almost impossible for me to find out.
Right.
Because we still have. If you're doing a property sale, if I was a lawyer in this country, I would be terrified every time I handle a property sale. Because you're going down there and searching in the big manual book to try and trace the title. Go through these pages, half of which are missing, ripped up, etc.
Right.
So does your project also include computerizing the land registry system or not yet?
Actually, we are in the process of doing that. So if you look behind where income tax was, they're retrofitting that building for the digitization of the land deeds. They're actually doing that, but the project is providing support to execute that project. Hopefully next year we would be fully into the digitization of all the land records.
So what sort of time frames do we have for various elements of these projects?
So for the tax information management system, the new one, we anticipate we would begin actual implementation. We are in the process of procuring a system. And you have to configure that system and all that kind of thing to your requirements and so we expect by the middle of the first quarter next year we should be in the process of implementing that tax information management system.
You know one of the reasons I'm excited about this thing? Because the Inland Revenue Department currently enforces the VAT regulations.
Well, that's what I asked.
If you are 1 day late on your VAT, because you don't have a signatory for a check, because you can't pay any other way. If you are 1 day late, you know what they do? They fine you 20%. an obscene thing. And worse than that, they have somebody sitting in the Inland Revenue Department hold on, they have somebody sitting there who gets...
Like you expected this question.
Who gets a fee, who gets an incentive fee to chase people who are a day or two late and enforce them, making them pay literally hundreds of thousands of dollars in unfair fees because the government entity is incapable of accepting anything other than checks in the year 2023. And we get blamed for that because you have a signatory out the country, if a signatory is not available for a few days, somebody gets sick, you can't pay your VAT on time. Never mind you pay it today and it's a day or two late, you know. But they then, 20%, and they have somebody who sits in that and gets an incentive fee for doing this, for chasing and harassing.
So how does your
sector.
system help this?
So,
I have plenty of complaints.
No, but in responding to this, what I do know, like I'm saying, a lot of the processes are manual,
yes,
as you would agree.
Correct.
People have to walk in or something like that. So, previously we had a taxi filing system, and that it had
What's
some
a taxi?
That collapsed.
Yeah,
where you could
file your
go online and
taxes
file it
electronically.
electronically.
Right.
That lasted about 2 years, and
Right.
now we're back to fill out forms again.
So
we're wonderful. We're doing great progress.
So actually, we are in the process now of putting a taxi filing front end to the current system, and also to put electronic payments so that it goes through the interim payment gateway that we talk about, which is GovPay. We estimate something like that will be ready by March or something like that next year.
Okay, good. So that way we wouldn't have to absorb these ridiculous fines so that people can play favorites and give people commissions to their friends or their buddies for harassing the business.
No,
sector.
he's horrible.
About one day payment.
I'm not aware.
Don't respond.
And Mr. Pompey is fully aware of it. And he knows what I'm
Mr.
saying.
Pompey is online. Don't respond. You
Because he
continue.
knows what I'm saying is the truth. It is
Yeah.
disgraceful what they do to people
He's
in this
disgusting
country.
and horrible. Let's go. So what else? What else? Go ahead. You go ahead.
So, additionally, what is required for implementation of these systems is to review the policies and the legal and regulatory framework. So we are actually in that process. We are doing that as we speak. Also, in terms of signature, you spoke about it. We are doing digital signature as well, so that you have the ability to make
So when my boss is in England, he can sign off no matter what. Okay, great.
Yeah, so we are doing that.
So we're hoping that this will be done in the next 5 years, hopefully. Is that reasonable?
Actually, the project started in
next year, you said?
the project
No. You should always under promise and over deliver.
Right, I
The other
agree.
way around.
I agree. But
That's what he
we have done a lot of groundwork on the project. We started in 2021, getting the requirements, etc. It's World Bank funded. We have to follow the bank procedures. The project is scheduled to end in 2026.
Okay.
So we expect
3 years time, really. Okay.
to ramp up activities next year into
I think this is
2025.
a really
and so
good thing.
I've got a couple of questions, but let me finish. What's your major?
Right. So we are also we are at the final stages of what we call a digital transformation strategy for the next 5 years. That is being finalized. We also looking at digital skills, and this one is more to the general public private sector. The OECS Commission is a part of the project, and they have done a market assessment at the local, regional, and international level to identify those skills that are required. And so in the case of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we are looking at intermediate and advanced skills. So people could access, we could provide the training, and people could access jobs with those skills, whether at the local level, regional or international level. And another component has to do with supporting small and medium enterprises in the adoption of digital technologies. These are more demand type driven projects. So we would be promoting those, and then persons could apply for support.
What about persons in the diaspora now?
Diaspora?
Yeah.
Essentially, you're Vincentian in the diaspora, you're a citizen. we would cater for you if you have services, if you could pay your land and house tax from where you are, anywhere in the world, because the digital technology now reduces space and time.
You have to excuse Bing. He doesn't understand there's a thing called the internet and how
I don't.
it doesn't matter where you're sitting in San Francisco or New York or Toronto. So that was a really stupid question.
That is a good question because
I am the stupid one.
Because it allows me the chance to say, well, essentially, you could now transact services with government at your convenience, 24/7, no matter where you are in the world.
Additionally, we've heard people from the Grenadines saying, listen, we have to take a boat, we have to spend an entire
they still
day.
have the internet.
Sometimes we have to overnight.
Yeah.
So with this system now, you don't have to do it. Forget that fool. With this system now, you don't have to go through all of that.
That is so true, because what the government did prior to the digital transformation project is implemented the CARDTP project, which is the broadband network. So you have a broadband network that goes around the north of St. Vincent, down through the Grenadines, and so on. So a fiber optic network, and that would allow for high speed.
Which we use.
Right. Yeah. So, and speaking about the Grenadines, so now they may not need to travel to St. Vincent to transact certain types of services.
This is all good news, my friend. Very good news.
It's a lot of work, I could tell you.
So are you going to come back and update us as to how you're progressing?
Before that, I got a million questions.
A million questions?
What device will the police use to access the data relating to car insurance and road taxes and checking car ownership, say the traffic offenses, or use to commit a crime? On this system,
I hear that that particular question. What I do know is that with some support from the NTRC, they are looking at a particular system, but also under the tax information management system, I believe there will be some integration with the police force. But it's a very good question, because in Grenada, they have something where they just look on their mobile phone, they put in the number, and they get all the details, the number of the vehicle, and they get all the details included. How long they had that for? I'm not too sure, but in Grenada they have something like that.
Now you see who's the stupid one. No, someone is asking, you didn't give a proper answer to Stephen's question.
About
what? With regards to if someone is not available.
Yeah, he did. He answered it very easily.
I'm just reading the question.
But why are you repeating the question if you already answered?
Go ahead.
Yes. You see who's the stupid one now. You didn't answer Stephen's question directly with regards to late payments.
That's not his field.
And how is that this initiative going to help?
So
I'm just reading the question.
So essentially, once you bring the services online, and you provide the facility, so the service is online, you could upload your file, all things equal, nothing happens to the network and all that, and you have a digital signature that you could apply to your documents wherever you are. That eliminates that matter for fees and all that.
My final question, is this network going to be dependent on our present internet providers, because they go down quite often?
Well, we have the fiber optic backbone, right?
Okay. Dark fiber.
And we also have dual connections to Flow and to Digicel, right? So there's some form of redundancy in the system, right?
Okay.
We hope it would be good, but I want to also say that we are going to put service centers in certain strategic areas, because naturally not everybody may have access to the internet or at a particular time, so they should be able to go somewhere to do those services and also be assisted by somebody to do those services.
Hopefully that will be much better than the services provided by the banks in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yeah.
Much better. I mean,
this idiot complains a lot about these things. Are you happy now? You
I'm
happy?
happy that we're making some progress. I think it's great news that you're at least headed in the right direction after all these years. It's very sad that we have to sit here and hear about what Grenada is doing and how far ahead of they are of us. But we know this already as a reality here because we have the wrong set of priorities apparently.
No, you see this. So,
you know.
is there anything else you want to add?
But I'm speaking. Am I lying?
Yes, you are. You always do.
Anything else? Just to say that we are in the process of actually coming here. We are promoting the project.
Okay,
We are going
start
all
of-
about
of rolling it out.
on November 22nd. We would be in Beckway at the Beckway Community Anglican Primary School, and we would be there engaging the citizens there
Right.
about the project. We have our Facebook page, social media.
Friend, if you all ever need a guinea pig to test on whatever, Musty Company is very willing to be your guinea pig at any point.
Okay, all right.
What's your Facebook page? What's your social media pages? That process can
It's
go up.
SVG Digital Transformation Project. We have a YouTube page as well. We have a website, dtp.gov.bc. We are going to revamp that, but it has information there on the project
Okay.
and what we aim to do.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
My friend, this is really good news, huh? I'm glad you're telling people about it.
Yeah, somebody said, why after 20 years? Somebody,
Yeah,
you guys some licks to it. You guys some licks.
No.
not his fault.
No, but
Not you in particular.
Why are we so
No,
far
but I
behind?
could answer that too because
Why are we so far
this,
behind?
I think
I think
this is digital transformation 2.0. We
Where
had
was
we
the
had
one?
digital
2.1?
transformation 1,
And that
which
failed?
was the electronic government for regional integration project, and I think we came on board a little bit early, but now probably is the right time
May I
when
ask
all
which,
the ducks are
may I
lined
ask
up.
which ministry this falls on?
This project falls under the Ministry of Finance,
Okay.
Economic Planning, and
okay.
Information Technology.
Okay. Minister Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. King waiting.
My friend, thank you for coming by. It was great having you, and thank you for
That was
sharing
some good information.
Yeah.
You got tons of questions here, but we don't have the time.
You
to
could
go through.
share the questions.
No, you could, no, or they could pay some more money and come back. And how about we do that? You know what I mean? How about we pay some more money and come back?
Yeah. All right.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you very much. That was some good information. Thank you very much. Shady, could you have